G'day, ZiggyD here and welcome to my day one update for my 1 week race magic finding project. So for those of you guys who haven't been following the live stream, I've been working on over the past 2 days leading up to the race, theory crafting a low life, blood magic find dual flame totem character that I was planning on playing in the 1 week race. Now there are various reasons, and I get asked this all the time, why you would want to magic find in a 1 week race. The first reason is you might want to simply exploit the economy in a 1 week race, which is a fairly unique and interesting economy, to make a bunch of currency to take back to standard or hardcore. There's a lot of currency to be made because people trying to push for, top levels, trying to push for top 5, top 200 or whatever, are going to be investing all the currency they find in gear, so you can sell things at a premium in the 1 week race. So lots of people do that. Other reasons are to run with a group. Groups will often have a magic finder with them, and will bring a magic finder along because it helps the group a lot overall. The other one is to actually feed another group that you're not a part of. So if you're helping other people do well and you're magic finding, and this might be if you're in some sort of a guild or something like that and you have that pre-made arrangement. And then the other reason is my own particular reason, which is kind of just because I want to, because it's fun. I love the idea of getting into these early leagues and running a shop thread and selling lots of stuff. So I wanted to use this as like a little, kind of like a microcosm of the start of a new challenge league, and would allow me to try some things and learn some things to share with you guys, so that at the end of this, hopefully I can put together a bit of a magic finding guide that you guys can then apply at the start of the new challenge league starting in 2 weeks' time. So it's perfect testing ground basically for me. That's why I'm doing it. So I did plan out this character, which you guys who have been watching on stream will kind of know the gist of. I will probably reserve giving like a build guide until the end, I think, until I know everything's working fine. But we did do a lot of theory crafting. As you can see here, I have pretty, pretty full-on spreadsheets of various different things. I calculated like, how much life I'll have, how much regen I'll have, how much total ES I'll have, conservative different estimates, how much my spells would cost, and I made sure I got everything working in addition to planning out different skill trees and stuff like that. So I got to pretty, I guess, in-depthly theory crafted build with, even some progression strategy and stuff like that. So I should be able to share a lot of that with you guys. So how did day one go? Well, this is my character just here, my first character just here. Get rich quick scheme, died at level 48. I was rank 30 something, I think. I was in the top 40, I'm pretty sure, when I died. So we were making excellent pace. I was leveling with Pox, Xenocide, and Mr. Twobbles. Mr. Twobbles fell behind a bit, so it was just me, Pox, and Xeno towards the end there. But we were pushing, well into the top 50. And we were making excellent pace. Found some really nice gear while leveling in general. Just found like this shield was great. I found Moku's Embrace. Found some pretty nice gear all around on my character. Not to mention my near-perfect All-Seas gloves. So if you come from standard or something, it's not going to be very impressive, like whatever, it's a 1-case item. But in the start of a new league like this, these sorts of things, these can be very expensive, especially well-rolled All-Seas can sell for quite a lot. Easy 10 to 20 chaos, which is quite a lot at the start of a new league. That's worth a lot. So, not to mention that this is exactly the item I wanted for this character. This was basically equivalent to me finding my drill neck on my Tornado Shot Puncture Ranger. So I basically found my drill neck and I died with it. So that was probably the saddest thing about that rip overall. The rip itself, you can check out the VOD I'll link to in the description below for you guys if you want to check out the actual VOD and how it all happened. But essentially, I learned the danger of flame blasting with lockboxes that have rares in them. Xenocide actually warned me a little bit earlier, and I did not heed his warnings. And the reason for that was that with this character I was just leveling here, I was leveling Hybrid, right? HP ES. And Hybrid is insane for leveling. It's so powerful. You end up with so much effective life pool. So here I am at level 48. Usually at this point, so we're heading on to go kill Cruel Dominus. Usually at this point I have about 2k life, right? That's what I'm pushing for. Sometimes I'll have a bit less, but usually pushing for about 2k life to go do Dominus. That's where you're usually safe. I actually have 2,700 life, over 2,700 total life pool. Now ES is not quite as good as pure life, but it's still a massive extra buffer there. So very, very powerful. And because of this, I was getting a bit overconfident, guys. That's it. And then essentially, Pox popped a lockbox, an Arcanist lockbox, and had 3 rares in it, and one of the rares had Reflect. and I maybe had like an 8 stack Flame Blast or something. I can't remember if it was a full stack Flame Blast or not, but I one-shot myself from completely full, so 2,700 plus HP down in one instant, one hit, absolutely destroyed. So that sent me straight to Standard League. So let's switch on over to my other character. I did get straight back on the horse, guys. I had a break for dinner, had a couple hours break to, you know, have a rest, refresh, have some food, and then jumped on a new character. And basically pushed through normal difficulty, and I'm now back up to level 34 on ZiggyD, not rich, died trying. And this character is not having anywhere near as good as RNG as the previous character, unfortunately. This is all my gear. I'm wearing a white helmet right now. All my gear overall is quite average. I found some okay-ish sort of things here and there, but like those boots are okay-ish at this point. But yeah, nothing too major really in terms of RNG for this character. So, however, still just pushing through the same strategy. Essentially, my leveling strategy was Lightning Tendrils, Fire Trap, Flame Blast, Fire Trap, Searing Bond, Flame Blast, and then I'll be switching into Flame Totem, probably somewhere around 60, 65. I imagine that's where I'll be switching. But I haven't worked out exactly yet. As for the leveling spec, I kind of, as I said, I'm going hybrid. This will be an ES-based build later, a low-life ES-based build. So it's pretty easy to do. Essentially, you just, when you're leveling a build like this, you just look for those life nodes and respec out of them where you have to. So essentially, I picked up Heart and Soul here, and then I can just respec out of that 4 points later. I pick up these 2 life nodes there, I can respec out of those later. And then there's a few other nodes that I'm picking up incidentally in the build, which I don't need to respec out of. So this actually worked out pretty nicely, so that's just kind of a heads up for when I do make this final build guide, that it actually leveled incredibly smoothly. It's probably one of the smoothest, fastest leveling experiences I've ever had, especially in a new league where we're all essentially playing self-found. Did find some nice gear, but the spec overall definitely was working very effectively. And the Flame Blasting Searing Bond on this character, with some of the really nice fire damage and spell damage and stuff you can get, was quite insane, really. So worked out really, really nicely. The final thing I wanted to note was, since this is a 1 week magic finding project, I'm probably going to give you guys updates on how much currency I'm making. Now, first day is generally just progression, right? You don't make too much currency in the first day. However, there are a few things that if you find, you should sell as quickly as possible. Generally, uniques and gems. People will pay a premium for gems in the first day or two, and leveling uniques especially as well, in both standard and hardcore. Hardcore has a bit longer of a period where you can sell leveling uniques for, because people will die and re-level. So essentially, I made only a couple sales in the first day because I died and sort of didn't really get to the end game farming point, which is where I'd be now if I didn't die. But I did still manage to make a few sales just using trade chat. And sold physical projectile attack damage for a little bit. Viper Strife for 1 Chaos 1 Alch. The thing to know about 1 week races and very early on in the leagues is that an alchemy is worth a lot. Not like anything like an alchemy later on in leagues. And Chaos the same, worth quite a lot. I've seen Exalts selling for 8 Chaos. So that should give you a bit of an approximation of how much these are worth at this point. Essentially, people want what they can use. They want to level as fast as possible, so they'll use what they can. So I sold Viper Strike for 1 Chaos 1 Alch, which is a pretty good price. Cast from damage taken, 3 Chaos 2 Alchs, I think was a pretty good price too. I saw some going for 3 Chaos, so I think I did pretty well on that. And then I sold some Bones of a Lot Angry AA for 1 Chaos 1 Alch as well, which is quite a good price on those too. So pretty not too bad. And I ended up the day with basically, I found lots of currency, right? So that's like 4, 5 Chaos and 4 Alchs, 5 Chaos, 4 Alchs. I must have found 4 Chaos and like 4 Alchs as well, and a bunch of GCP and fusings and stuff like that. So this is kind of like my currency total here at the end of day 1. Not too bad, not a bad start. This is putting me in a really solid position, so when then I get to my point where I'm going to switch over to low life magic finding, I'll be able to buy the things I need. So I'll be able to buy my All Seas, I'll be able to buy my Solaris Lorica with a 4 link hopefully, maybe even a 5 link if I can make some nice currency today, and a few other magic find pieces that I need, some water traps and things like that. So far, despite the death, guys, which was a bit of a setback, and it is going to cost me quite a bit, I'm still on pretty good, still making pretty good progress, still on track. So I'll keep you guys posted. Make sure to stop by the live stream if you want to see some of this in action, see how I'm going. But I'm having a lot of fun, guys. This league is really fun. Like, Rampage and Beyond by themselves were not so exciting, but the combination of them is actually really quite enjoyable. Getting those stuns from the Rampage bonuses when Beyond leagues pop up, yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you guys haven't started playing the 1 week race, I do encourage you to. It's not too late. You can still get in and get to level 70 quite easy and win some of those sweet prizes. So guys, jump on in and have a bit of fun. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.